Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. So, this is my review on Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 6. The new do. Okay. I'm going to call her the new do. Of course, you know the word that I'm talking about. But you guys, this episode was quite interesting. And I definitely want to have a good discussion about this. I feel like there was a lot of feelings over facts when it came to this episode. But we'll talk about it. Hey, Sean. Hope all is well, my brother. So with that being said, you guys were right. You seasoned, ready to love people crew, you called it, you clocked it. You said Rocky and Cooley was gonna be out, and you were correct. They both had to get the boot, and Sahara stays. Okay, Cam says you are still ready to love, and Sahara is like, thank you. F this shit. I'm ready to go. We need to wrap this up. Sahara, fix the attitude, boo. I know you're annoyed, but that man right in front of you fought for you, okay? He is the main reason why you are still there, okay? So, with that being said, hey Shayla, I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, you mean the show? You still hanging in for the show? Are you saying that you're bored about the show? Let me know. But yeah, so with that being said, her attitude was just she was in her feelings. She was in her feelings. And I was just like, you know what? This is not the time nor the place to be doing that. And she says even that, you also chastise me, Cam, because he was just like, why are you mad at me? Like, you have someone here who was like fighting for you, who's there for you. And she was like, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. Like, don't make this about you. And he was like, but you got this whole stank attitude or whatever the case may be. And she was like, well, you chastised me too. And my whole thing is this: he has been giving constructive criticism. But at the same time, she probably feels like, she's being judged and looked down on for simply being her. So I get it. But at the same time, I feel like Sahara's also giving like pick me energy, because the reality is, if you like you, who gives a damn what they think? Because you clearly have someone in front of you who really, really likes you. So even with him telling you that information, it's almost like, okay, you know what? Hey, I'm still ready to love. It's their loss, not mine. I like me. And it's clear that you like me also in front of me. So, slob your man down and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Give him a little good sugar and keep it moving. But her whole attitude was just, ugh. She was just like, I'm ready to go. And he was like, you are truly like showing your ass right now with this attitude. And she's like, I'm not. And child, she leaves Cam at the table. Like, she just walks away. So yeah, I was not feeling the attitude right there. Like, I know she is annoyed because she keeps getting picked at the bottom, but they're also saving you as well. So that should tell you that someone is fighting for you. So you clearly probably have your forever man right in front of you, and you're too frustrated or in your feelings to actually see it. Hey, Tracy, what's up, girl? So with that being said, moving on, honey, it's the girls' turn this episode, and they have to actually have a date with someone that they're least connected with. Because, Tommy was like, the reason why you here is because you constantly connected with guys who just haven't been right for you. This time, have a date with someone you're least connected with. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. So D picks Hussein. They go riding horses, honey. And so at that point, here was another one where I was just like, what is going on here? D asked him about deal breakers. Okay. And she's like, what are your deal breakers? And he says, selfish people. All right. And so with that being said, I was like, that's good, because no one wants a selfish freaking mate. And then he said, what's your deal breakers? And she said, lack of communication. And, at that point, I was just like, okay, that's also good. But then she says, yeah, Hussein, you seem like you don't communicate well. Like, you don't communicate, if I can be honest with you. You give me the vibes that, if there's something wrong with you, you'll just let it linger and you won't say anything. And I was like, well, damn. Okay, that's a great way to start off this conversation. Now, granted, of course, editing is a powerful tool. We don't necessarily know if that was the start of the conversation, but it definitely seemed like it was the start of the conversation, right? And then she says she is not the texting type of person every day. She doesn't text every day because when she's at work, she's in a zone. And so he says, well, it sounds like work is your relationship. Okay. And so at that point, he says, you can do both. You can communicate text, and also work. Now, what's interesting about what Dee said is she says she has an issue with lack of communication or people not communicating with her, but yet she pretty much puts out there that she doesn't communicate. Like, if she's at work or, she's in a zone, she won't communicate. She doesn't have proper communication. So for me, Hussein pretty much said, in my opinion, he said, it just seems like work is your relationship, work is your first priority. And so at that point, she says work is her first priority, and she expects her man to be the same way, where work is his first priority. And I mean, I don't know, D. To be quite honest, what man wants to hear that he will not be your first priority? What man wants to hear that? Like, the way that I am, it's God first and then family. And then the rest goes down the line. To say that, it's like, what kind of relationship do you want? I get that we have to work to live, but to me, what I gather from what Hussein was saying is that there needs to be balance. Like, men all the time, even though they're the providers and they constantly work, women constantly tell them that they need to feel like they need to be a priority in that man's life. And we do say that. And I feel it needs to go the same way, where women need to make sure that that man feels like he is a priority. Okay. So he was pretty much saying, look, you have to find a way to communicate. And she was like, it's not like I work at a desk and answer phones or whatever the case may be. And he said, whether you putting out fires or you answering phones, it's still your profession. And to me, he was just trying to say, you will make a priority for what is important for you and to you, what is important to you. And she got offended by that. Like, her whole face changed. And at first I was like, why the hell is she annoyed by him saying that? So I was just like, what is the freaking issue with what he just said? We find out later why she had an issue with that. But he said, you're also coming off as if your job is more important than mine. And she was like, okay. And I said, ooh, D. Ooh, your whole demeanor is a little, ooh. Okay. She was like, yeah, okay. You work your job, I work mine. She was coming off. And here's the thing. It is very clear that D She loves her career. She loves her profession. She clearly is a trainer also at the academy. So she loves it. But understand that if you really are ready to be loved, there has to be sacrifices made. And you cannot sit up there and make it seem like that your job is always going to be priority over your man. If y'all have kids, what you going to do then? So I was just like, what is going on here? And I agree with what Hussein was saying. He wasn't saying you need to quit your job and be at home baking cookies. He said you need to have balance on where your priorities are. And I absolutely agree. Okay. Absolutely agree. Deanna has too much masculine, has too masculine of a presence for these men. Well, some of them actually vibe with her. You know what I'm saying? Someone actually vibe with her. I think he's gonna be in the next episode. You can save lives and be on the phone. Yeah, you got, you know what I'm saying, 911 dispatchers. Deanna was hostile from the beginning of the day. She did not even want to connect with Hussein. Yeah, it kind of seemed that way, but I think just certain things that she said, the fact that she said, you know, like you don't communicate well. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Amina. You're right. But again, I feel like that's just her personality. I think that's her personality. Some guys will just probably look at it as in, oh, she's just being real. While other guys like Hussein will be like, hold up, pump your brakes. You don't even know me. Get to know me before you start saying what you think I am or how you think I may be. But the issue with height is a smokescreen because Naim is not that tall. She just wasn't interested in Cam. True, but was she even interested in Naim? I don't even think she was interested in Naim. I think Naim was interested in her, but I don't know if she mentioned, I can't remember if she mentioned that she said she was interested in Naim. But she mentioned the fact about Hussein being tall, but faltered in a connection with him. Yeah, I think she just said on a physical level, he's everything that she's looking for. But this was kind of a turn off. I'm not going to even front. Like, this was a turn off. And I was just like, girl, you got to let go and you got to understand you have to have balance. You have to have balance. Your man has to feel like he is a priority. And she did say, yeah, work is first priority. I said, well, good luck. Good luck with a man accepting that you will always see work as the first priority. Like, what are you going to do if you get pregnant? Like, what's going on here? So, but with that being said, moving on. Child, Tay has a freaking date with Naim. Man bun Naim. Y'all know how I feel about man buns and ponytails. Hey, Kashari girl, what's up? What's up? You know, Tay, why do this to yourself? I need to know what Tay's zodiac sign is. I know zodiac signs aren't everything, but she sure is giving me my zodiac sign. She's giving me Libra vibes. We are very forgiving, very loving people, and we always want to give people the benefit of the doubt, which we have to break that. Like, that is kind of like one of our, you know, curses as far as a Libra. We always trying to give people a benefit of the doubt, and you just gotta look at those red flags and don't go that direction. But she invites Naim to her nice place, and he definitely takes a look and says, oh, this place is really nice. I said, child, he trying to see what you got, honey, and if he can move in possibly. But anywho, with that being said, she said at first she was turned off about the kids, but found out that he's an amazing father. So, like, who cares if he's an amazing father? He should be. He got 5 kids. The whole point is, though, Tay, you will never be his priority with all of those households and kids that he has to take care of. And while they had a cool date, I just feel like Tay is like a moth to a flame. Like, seriously, because I'm just like, you are literally having connections with the 2 guys that are the biggest red flags at this point. Would I invite a man to your home after a few days? Hell no. Probably wouldn't even give him my number after a few days. I got to be that cautious at this point. Like, unless he is somebody that I've already known or is through like a mutual friend or something, but I'll be damned. I don't even care if the cameras are there. Like, come on. Exactly. Like a moth to a flame, burned by the fire. Exactly. That's exactly what she's giving me. But yeah, they had a cool date. And, whatever the case may be. But I'm just like, girl, please don't do it to yourself. But it seems to me she liked the ones that are kind of on the iffy side, the bummy side, the red flag side. So moving on, we have Cisco and Shanise. Child, they go body painting. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. But yeah, they go body painting. And honestly, I think that's a lot for a first date. We find out that she's a nude. Okay, she's a nude. And she is all about letting it out. And she be nude doing it up in her house. And I mean, she does the body painting on Cisco. And then when Cisco's about to do the body painting on her, she is complete nude from the rooter to the tutor. Okay. And it was all out. Even her bottom half was out. Okay. Now, Cisco thinks this shows that she places a lot of trust in him. Negative, sir. Seems like she does that in front of anyone. That's what she likes to do. Okay. That's who she is. But it was a little too much for me. It was too much for me. I still feel like men kind of like to, still have that desire of, waiting and stuff. Like, I mean, you done showed him all the goods at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Project, build a man. Yeah, I'm sorry, but once you start getting into your mid 30s and 40s, you building a man, like that man needs to be built. I see through non-scheme. It's a lot of them that I'm like side-eyeing at this point. She did that to mark her territory. I don't think she marked it. And based on the next episode, she did all of that, and he still is googly eye over Tay. So that didn't work for her. Older women ways, I guess. I'm in my early 40s, and yeah, no. Wouldn't do it at all. Yes, he did. Yes, Sean is definitely hilarious. Yes, he called Jay no more F's. Yes, definitely. I don't know who told him to look like. He does kind of look like a distorted version of Omar Epps a little bit, I would say. But let's move on. So yeah, with that being said, I don't know, that was a little too much for me. But next date, child, is Rose and Hussein. And this was a very emotional scene. We find out because Rose and Hussein, they had an instant connection, remember, in the beginning of the season. But now she's kind of circling back to him. And we find out that he at one point was in a group home because of family issues. And he actually broke down and cried in the confessional because, he had abandonment issues. And Rose actually was very honest after that and said she was in a foster home. And her parents, and she said she was in a foster home until about, I think she said 10 or 11. And then her parents finally got themselves together and then, got them back or whatever. And I was like, wow. So they definitely had a connection in regards to that, which, I really like that they can actually be vulnerable and share that with each other. So then she has a conversation about kids. And she said that, she, of course, has her son, but she has definitely had a decent amount of miscarriages or whatever. And she doesn't know about carrying. Like, she'll try, but she doesn't know because she's kind of, it's been an unfortunate situation in the past. And it sounds like a couple of times at that. And so she was like, could you see yourself adopting? And he said, absolutely. I could see myself adopting, especially, I guess, because of his past being in a group home that, they will definitely try to make, see if they can have their own child, but he's down for adopting. So I was like, okay. All right, cool. So it sounds like he's still a check mark for you as far as possibly having your forever love in that situation. So yeah, so that definitely, why didn't Hussein mention that he has a son? He made it seem like he has no children when she asked about adoption. I don't know. Because I mean, we do know that he does have a son because, of course, Angie gave him a keychain for his son. But I guess it's just more about when you find that one, are you willing to, do you want more kids? And if you do want more kids, are you okay with adopting? So yeah, but both of them have sons. I don't know how old Hussein's son is, but but they definitely do have a connection. So I feel like they're kind of the most compatible. Let me see. Hussein, who else could I see Hussein with? Maybe Angie. No, I think I like Rose and Hussein better. That's my pick in that situation. But speaking of Angie goes on a date with Eddie. Okay. And she asks Eddie. Now, one thing about it is they're trying to put out there that Eddie likes the libations. He likes to sip it, sip. He likes to drink a drink. Okay. Because honey, he always wants some wine or something like that. Now, do I see an issue with him having a glass of wine at dinner? No, but they make it seem like he apparently drinks often. So she asks Eddie, what is his deal breakers? And he said he doesn't deal with disrespect. Totally acceptable. Totally understand that. Disrespect shouldn't happen either way. And then he says he wants a woman to clean because he said he's really, really busy. So clean, cook, whatever the case may be, that's what he wants. And so Angie, like, oh, so you want to clean, cook, do your laundry, whatever the case may be. Like, he wants a housewife. And, she's like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, you want me to do all of that and dream and do this? Like, hold up. Now, here's the thing. He didn't say that's all I want you to do. I think in general, if you have a house or whatever the case may be, you do want it clean. I didn't hear him say that you have to cook every day. So, I don't know about that because it's like, yeah, I mean, naturally you have a house, you want it clean. You probably would want to cook, things like that. Now, if he's saying it's a deal breaker, meaning that you have to do it, like I know people who have households, they're both very busy and they have decided that they're going to have a maid that comes in once a week, to clean up the house or whatever. I guess that would be something that you would discuss with your man, but her facial expression made it seem like he wants a woman barefoot and pregnant. Okay. So then she's like, well, what's your deal breakers? Like, he says, what's your deal breakers to Angie? And Angie said, no, I'm sorry. I'm tripping, you guys. I'm looking at something while I'm trying to talk to y'all. Eddie literally is like, my deal breaker is you chilling with your exes or being cool with your exes. And so Angie is like, what? Like, she was like, I'm cool with all of my exes. She's like, I have a male friend that's my best friend. And he was like, yeah, I'm not cool with that or whatever. And she was like, didn't you say something about trust and respect or whatever the case may be? And she was like, you know what, damn it. Like, this is just not going to work out. Yeah, I'm good off of this situation because, he's like turning me off at this point. And in the process of that, and I guess she realizes that, she's done with Eddie. Eddie is sitting up there sipping on his wine, talking about how good it is. But yeah, so with that being said, Angie went from really quick saying that Eddie was kind of like her top guy to pretty much saying bye, Eddie. Since Angie seems to be done with Eddie, I wonder how Angie and Cam would do together. I think Cam and Sahara are the match. She do give witchy vibes. I'm sorry. She do give witchy vibes. And he definitely seems to be all on Sahara. So, yeah, but I don't think it's Angie and Cam. I think it's Cam and Sahara. And I think Rose is going to end up with Hussein. But we'll have to see. He said okay, well, we got to talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Because when he said that, I said, ooh, honey. maybe he do got a problem. I'm not sure after the almost eliminate Cam seemed to have second thoughts. Yeah, but it does seem like, Sahara comes to her senses, and it seems like later on they kind of hug and get intimate. So we'll have to see when it comes to Cam and Sahara. But I'm rooting for them because pretty much that is her strongest connection. Eddie is a busy man. He's a general contractor. So he says, and a model. Yeah, how are you a contractor and a model? That's general contractors work in the daytime. Okay. So where do you model and where do you model? Yeah, exactly. I ain't got time for this. Depending on how production tries to spin a narrative. Yeah, Eddie says he wants his woman to do all those things, like those are only her jobs, and he doesn't plan to help. Yeah. Yeah, and Angie was like, absolutely not. You got me messed up. Now, granted, like I said, you have a home, you want it clean. Of course, you got to do your laundry and stuff like that. But when you trying to come off that's how you want your woman barefoot and pregnant, like you're dealing with women who are in their 30s and 40s that they're already accomplished. Like it sounds like to me, you want a very young girl who is unsure of her life at this point and wouldn't mind doing something like that until she comes to her senses and gets her own career. But yeah. But with that being said, the next one we have, child, is Fritz and Rose. And this was another situation where I said, what the hell is going on here? And I need for you guys to help me out with this. Rose goes on a date with Fritz, okay? And they have a nice little date. And she asks the same questions about babies to Fritz, saying she will try, but she has had an issue with carrying in the past. And Fritz said, with science and everything else that's going on today, we can get a surrogate. And baby, she said, nope, absolutely not. Adoption only. Ain't nobody carrying my baby. Ain't nobody carrying my baby. She gets really annoyed by that. Really annoyed by the fact that he mentioned a surrogate. She said adoption only. As someone who's carried a baby, I know that is definitely something like, spiritual and something just different when there's a connection there. And no, ain't nobody carrying my baby. And I'm thinking, but you're willing to adopt. Help me out here. You're willing to adopt. So if you're willing to adopt, you're not carrying that child either. So what is the issue with having a surrogate? I was so confused. I'm like, what? I'm lost here. And as much as I'm not even a fan of Fritz at this point, I could understand his hesitation. Like, again, it seems like a lot of these women right now, what I am seeing, they're so stuck in their ways. They're not willing to compromise or sacrifice to be in a relationship. And that's what a relationship is about. Compromise, sacrifice on certain things. The fact that she was so adamant to say, no, ain't nobody carrying my baby, but you're willing to adopt someone else's child completely blew my mind. I don't know if she's been watching too many horror movies, Lifetime movies that got her freaked out about surrogates, but she lost me there. And she lost me with how emotional and agitated and annoyed she got by it. And I was like, okay, I can't wait to do this live because can someone help me with why she got so annoyed by that? I was really confused. Like I said, she may be watching too many horror movies, Lifetime movies, because they done had so many Lifetime type of movies about surrogates going wrong. So maybe that's the case with her, and she feels like another woman carrying her child would not be her baby, then adopting someone else carried that child. Rose, you weren't making sense. I'm sorry. You were not making sense. I don't know, but she had the look of hell on her face, like that was her final decision, and she wasn't willing to budge. Like her face was like, hell no, you got me effed up to even think about a surrogate. Okay, so yeah, I was confused. So you guys definitely let me know what you feel about that. Rose is a little too stuck on her decision not to have. Yes. And I was so confused. Amina, are you new here? I don't think I've ever seen you before. If I have, my apologies. But if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Some of these decisions do not appear to be from the cast, and maybe colorism has been a narrative in the past seasons. Oh, has it? Why the hell am I shocked? Why would I even be shocked to hear that? That actually doesn't shock me at all. Adoption, even worse, they can come back years later wanting a child, but then again, I watched too much. But yeah, I didn't understand what she was tripping over, but it definitely seemed a little bit too much with him asking about a surrogate. It really did, and I just didn't understand where it was coming from. And she wasn't done, because she had a lot more to say in the vault, but we'll talk about that. So whew. Tay goes on a date with Cisco. And Cisco orders both of their dinners like he's paying for it. She'll have the salmon and I'll have the Mongolian beef. Sir, are you paying for this meal? Hmm? Do you want to feel like a man because you're ordering her food? Are you paying for it? Okay? You want to order my meal? Fine. But when that check comes, sir, not me, not production, but you paying for it. So with that, they have a conversation. And of course, she's saying that she's still hesitant on how their future will look when it comes to Cisco pretty much living in a room and trying to get back on his feet. And I'm like, if you're still hesitant and questioning that, then you need to move on. You need to run. But we find out Tay has abandonment issues. Oh boy. That is a target for F boys. Abandonment issues. Yeah. So I knew you was gonna say something. Cisco will stay because he's Tommy's frat. Yes, Cisco is a Kappa, and so is Tommy. So yeah, but with that, she has her issues, abandonment issues. Her father left her when she was young, and Cisco never knew his father. And by the time he tried to go look for his father had passed away. Okay. And so, child, as much as I don't want Tay, because Tay seems to really be the full package. Great personality, beautiful, very accomplished. As much as I don't want her to deal with Cisco or Naim, child, look how googly eyed she is over that man. Look at her eyes. She is all in. Okay. The way she is looking at him, she is gone. So gone. That's her. That's her. Okay. She's gone. And I'm like, why, Tay? Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna be paying dinners, you gonna be paying rent. Oh my gosh. And he claims that because she got her stuff together, it's gonna make him be motivated. Tay, oh my gosh. But you know what? Some people gotta learn the hard way. It seems to me, I don't know how many episodes we have when it comes to Ready to Love, but at this point, it seems like it's going to be Cisco or Naim. To me, the two worst picks for her, and she's looking at them. Okay, it's just has a movie out there, all black channel called Hush. Help me help you. Right, exactly. So, but look at her eyes. That is a woman who is falling in love. Tay, I don't want you to get hurt, girl. And I definitely don't want you to be straining over this fool, but let's continue. So in the vault, the ladies talk, okay? And Tay talks about her date with Cisco. And Shanise is looking on, and of course, she couldn't wait to say, oh, yeah, I had a date with Cisco too. We went body painting, and he put his name on me. She's so petty. She is so petty, but she trying to fight for that man, honey. only living in a room man. And she was like, yeah, he put his name on me. And I was completely nude, honey. I was bucky naked. I was completely bare. And they was like, what? What? You was completely bare. Like, what in the world is going on? And Tay is like, oh, they had a date. And you could tell she was annoyed, but I must say, I like the fact that she didn't attack Shanise. You have some women who get a kick out of attacking the other woman or just attacking women, period, but they don't ever want to confront the man. She was annoyed, but it seemed that she was more annoyed when it came to Cisco behaving or actually engaging in that versus Shanise. So she just kind of kept her cool, but you could tell she was pissed off. So we get to D. And D says, Hussein said my job and an office job is one and the same. I'm sorry, but I didn't get that from what Hussein said. I did not get that at all. These are your feelings speaking over facts, D. And it's so interesting that she was saying later on, he said, she said, it's not facts. Your feelings and your emotions and your possibly ego got in a way with what that man was saying. He did not say it's one and the same in a sense of what you do in an office and a firefighter, like y'all, it's the same thing. He's trying to say it's still a profession and you have to pick your priorities. So that's pretty much what he was saying. So she just tried to downplay, like he was trying to downplay her job. And I didn't get that at all. Y'all let me know if y'all got that, but I didn't get that. And so the bottom two, the main ones they're talking about is Eddie and how they want Eddie out. They say he's a party boy. He seems like he's not taking this seriously. And then, of course, Fritz is also a bottom as well. And Sahara was like, my turn, ninja, my turn. You've been trying to get me out, even though I tried with your punk ass. So let's go. So she was like, yeah, Fritz was bad-mouthing me in the vault. Now, of course, we didn't hear Cam tell Sahara that. I wouldn't put it past production that production told her so she could kind of be like lock loaded and ready to go. She was like, yeah, he was bad-mouthing me. And, and even though he was bad-mouthing me in the vault, his texting, the text messages was saying something totally different. And that's when D said, well, the he said, she said is not facts. And she was like, well, facts on this. Facts on this is that during our date, he told me he was just playing. He told me he was just playing. And Tommy was like, if you weren't feeling each other, why go out on a date with him? And I was like, exactly. I said that the last episode. You wasted a date with that man. But then Sahara was like, we were feeling each other at one point. Or we were feeling each other. And I'm like, no, he never was feeling you. And it's funny how you giving pick me vibes. You should have picked up on the fact that he wasn't feeling you. You know what I mean? But it's like you was really trying, you knew he was copying and pasting the same things to you. Take that as a sign. But I feel like she was really trying to have Fritz like her. Honey, go where you are celebrated, not tolerated. And so with that, she said, well, yeah, he told me he was just playing. And then he tried to convince me of the poly thing. And they was like, here we go with the poly thing. And Shanise is pissed because Shanise liked Fritz. And she was like, I feel safe with him. And she was like, you ain't telling us the real story, the whole story, implying that Sahara was lying. And then interesting enough, though, D says in her confessional that this ain't her drama once Shanise got into it with Sahara, but she said Sahara is there for games. So it's interesting that D said that. She said Sahara is there for games. Like she's not even serious about this. Y'all, did y'all hear that? And that made me say, what is going on here? Because it's so funny how Fritz said he was just playing. And now D is trying to imply that Sahara is just there for games too. How does she know that? Is there something that she heard Sahara say that would make her think that? It's quite interesting. Do they have reunions for these actual seasons? I would love to see a reunion to see why Dee said that, and maybe there's something that's going to come out, because I didn't understand why she said that she's just playing games or she's there for games. That's quite interesting, and I would love to know why she said that. Hey Danielle, let me see. Deanna, got those thighs out. You are so hilarious. He didn't. They don't listen. That's their problem. Right. 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 He did not say anything of that. I was like, girl, where are you getting that from? Like, you are truly choosing emotions and feelings over facts. Let me see. How ironic that Sahara would do yeah, production sneaky asses. You know they did that. They did. Shanise has lip injections too. It looked like she may have gotten some filters or something on her face, maybe, but I don't know for sure. Fritz took her for that dip in the pool, who brought her a change of clothes. Hey, yes, ma'am. Sometimes too. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that reunion. The reunion is usually taped after the first 2 weeks, but it's put on the back. Really? Really? Well, how long? I want to know how long it actually takes for them to film, because usually these reality shows, they film them pretty quickly. Like, they may do the whole filming of the show for 2 weeks straight, and can edit it out however they choose. So maybe after 2 weeks they're pretty much done with production, and that's why. Because I would hope they would have certain footage that they're going to show at the reunion that we're currently seeing. But when she said that about Sahara, I said, D, what are you getting at here? And are they looking down on her too, because they look at her like, she is beneath them, or she's too much? Like, it's making me wonder if that's the attitude that they have, like they feel like they're above her. We'll have to see. I can't wait until they discuss that. But with that being said, the episodes are not shown in order. They usually do the reunion early, then create the narrative as to who would be a great fit for the show. Oh, got it. Okay. So with that being said, we have the elimination dates. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Amina. That's kind of stupid, because what you want is the reaction of them seeing the actual show and then having the reunion, or at least a good amount of the show. That's when all the emotions and things like that will come out during the reunion. So I don't know, maybe it's a budget thing, but I think they need to really reconsider that, if that's how they do it. So the elimination dates, of course, like I said, production and they messy behinds. They so messy. They have Sahara take out Fritz, okay? Production ain't shit for that, but I'm here for it. And then Rose takes out Eddie, which, by the way, honey, when Sahara was talking about Fritz in the vault and how Fritz had to go, Rose chimed in at that point and said, yeah, it is messy. It's messy at the table when he's the messy one. Because let me tell you something. He mentioned a surrogate, and I ain't about to have no surrogate. Ain't nobody carrying my baby. I said, child, you ain't about to get over this, huh? Like, I don't understand why she was so offended by that, and she's still offended by that. Like, you are willing to eliminate this man. You had no issues with this man before, but you are willing to eliminate him because he suggested a surrogate, because he still wants to have his own biological child. And if you can't possibly carry, he is mentioning a surrogate. So the fact that she was so offended by that, and she even mentioned that in the vault, I said, baby, there is something there. I don't know what it is, but there is definitely something there. So guess it depends on depends on season. It was late. Oh, you say, I guess it depends. One season it was like, okay. Hi, Christopher. VH1 Flavor Flav of Love Charm School TV show back in the day. Oh my gosh, wasn't that classic? That was classic reality TV. I wish I had a channel back then when we had classic reality TV. When I tell you I was glued in back then, it was like the golden years for reality TV. But yeah, so the elimination dates. And Sahara was like, they brought up the poly again, talk about your copying and pasting. And, Fritz is like, I didn't give you a chance, and I'm sorry, Sahara. And I'm like, this fool at this point, you could tell he just trying to say anything at this point. And then of course Rose is talking to Eddie during their date, and she said the girls are saying that you're a party boy, and you're very flirtatious, and you don't seem to take this seriously, and you're drinking. And he was like, I socially drink. He was like, that's what I do. He said, but I haven't been drunk on this show yet. Yet, sir. Yet. So in other words, yet means you have definitely been drunk before. And you were saying that it is very possible. You know what I'm saying? It is very, very possible that you could get drunk on the show. Child. This is interesting. But with that being said, of course, before we find out who's eliminated, the episode goes off. So you guys are pretty good with this. So I ask you, who's getting eliminated? My guess, I don't know if it's my own emotional guess or just, I would say Fritz. And I say Fritz because it would be like poetic justice for how Fritz was trying to get Sahara off the show. And then now Sahara is pretty much saying, bye, get to stepping. So I would say Fritz, but at the same time, it could be Eddie, but no, I'm going to stick with Fritz. Because I feel like Eddie stays longer based off of the previews that we saw. But y'all let me know. Y'all better at this than me, because again, this is my first season. Who do you think got eliminated? Fritz or Eddie? I'm going with Fritz. Just because it would be for good TV that he was trying to get her off, and then she is the one who eliminates him. I say that's pretty good. Okay. But I need to know and see what y'all think, because y'all was right the last time, honey. You said Rocky and Cooley was out, and you were right. So I definitely would like to know what you think about this elimination. I would like Fritz to go. Immature is a politically correct term. Immature is the best adjective I would use. Is Lorana spoiled bratish as he appeared on the show? Oh, okay. You guys are talking about people from past seasons. Child, I don't know these people. That's why I was like, who are these people you talk about, Sean? I don't know them. This is my first season. So I think Eddie, I feel like they got a little more to do with Fritz. Okay, V Baby. And I think V Baby, you guessed correctly last week too. I think you and Danielle and somebody else guessed correctly last week. So you think Eddie's going to be out and they're going to keep Fritz. That's interesting. I feel like they were going to keep Eddie for eye candy purposes because he's a snack to look at. Fritz is not ugly by any means, but like Eddie does have the model whole Rico Suave look about him. So, for purposes of the women having their eye candy, he definitely is still that eye candy. So I feel like Fritz, wait a minute, you're tossed up, honey, not you. You said for sure. Last time you said Rocky and Cooley because you said Sahara was good for TV. So you got to pick Danielle because you are the expert on Ready to Love. You've been watching all season. So let me know what you think. I guess Chaz is somebody else from another season, V Baby. Like I said, I'm kind of clueless too on who that is. But Amina and Sean having a conversation, back and forth. But yeah. Okay, I guess whoever he is, he's married now. I's married now. So yeah, you guys, Sean, Amina, before we go, who do y'all have? Who do y'all have next week? You think Eddie is leaving or Fritz? Y'all let me know before we go, because I'm curious to see. Gonna head out, bro. Fritz gonna head out, bro. That would be hilarious if that's what Sahara says. Like, get to stepping, bro. Yeah, you try to get me out of here, but I'm getting you up out of here. We have to wait till summer. What you mean we gotta wait till summer? Wait a minute, y'all. Is this like a mid-season break? Hold up. Oh no, I'm about to be pissed. This is what they do? We only done had 6 episodes. You mean to tell me now we have a break and we got to wait till summer? Oh, hell no. I'm pissed. You have got to be kidding me. This is stupid. This is stupid. Why do they do that? Why do they do these mid breaks with reality shows? That don't make no freaking sense. So now we have to wait until summer. When does the next part come on? Like, when does it come on? In June? July? I'm pissed. VH1, Real Chance to Love. Oh, that was a classic one too. All of them was classic. I Love New York, classic. Yes, Real World. Sean, you said Real World earlier. Love the Real World. I'm telling you, we had some golden reality TV and it wasn't fake. It was real. That's why it was reality. Now we looking at soap operas, child. Soap operas. Never ever met somebody. 2 new shows. Okay, I did do Never Ever Met's last season, so I'll do Never Ever Met's again. Somebody's Son. I'll have to look that one up and see about that one. They say it may have to do with something do with changing network. They're changing networks. They're not going to be on OWN anymore. So I guess they want us to look at the new shows Ready to Love, already pretty much established. Man, I ain't got time for that. That's the same thing with that nonsense with Love and Marriage Detroit. That show didn't even come back on. Maybe they canceled it. But I don't like that mid-break nonsense. Cause I don't got invested before. I was binge watching, ain't desperately waiting for a show since Orange is New. Yeah, I don't like that. No, I didn't know, Shayla, because this is my first season. I don't watch this show, so I didn't know if this is how they do it, but I don't look at stuff in advance to see when there's breaks and stuff like that. I just watch it and I review it. Somebody's Son is like the show Smother. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to check it out, but well, hell, so much for that, y'all. Well, so we're going to have a break then. We're not going to see this until the summertime, and it's freaking March. Okay, it's March. So we have clearly a couple of months before we actually see the rest of this. Dumb as hell. So yeah, so we do have, of course, I think Love After Lockup is coming back out pretty soon. And then we have like I said, Never Ever Met. So we got a couple things coming out, but I'm pissed because I actually was enjoying this show. I actually like this show. So now, I guess go back and watch earlier seasons, Chris, and then do throwback. Girl, I wish I could. I ain't got the mental space to do that, especially if because I have to look at the schedule. I feel like some of the other reality shows that we constantly do lives and review, I think they're coming out soon. So, but yeah, I definitely I'm pissed. I'm pissed. So maybe if I had time to do throwback reviews, I will. But considering the fact that I'm doing like Yellow Jackets and Raising Cane and all of that stuff, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do throwbacks. But all right, y'all. Well, so much for that. So at this point, I done seen a couple of Eddies and I've seen a couple of Fritz. As far as who they think is gonna be eliminated. So we'll have to wait until the summertime, child, and see how it goes. But for those who watch it, please put your comments in the comment section about who you think is going to be eliminated, and definitely give me your comments on what you thought about this episode. I think it was a pretty good episode. As usual, I have definitely been able to watch all of the episodes and not be completely bored, which is that's a first for a very long time for reality shows for me. Reality shows to me, it seemed to be getting boring, just kind of like scripted shows. But yeah, I feel like this show could be a show that I can continue to watch, but I don't want this damn gap. This gap pisses me off. Yes, I would love your opinions on a throwback. Okay, so y'all think that it's a market for people who want my opinions on throwback shows for Ready to Love? Y'all think so? All right. Well, if y'all think that may be a Chris opinion on throwbacks, then maybe I will. Maybe I will. Now, let me ask you this. 'Cause I ain't gonna be reviewing all seasons. What season do you feel like I should watch? What season? And then I'll go to that season. So y'all let me know what y'all think on what season. Y'all can put it in the comment section. We ain't gonna stay on the live, but put it in the comment section, because from my understanding, you guys told me every city they do 2 seasons. So do you want me to just do 1 season of one city, or you talking about I need to do both seasons? Y'all let me know. ATL and resort season, they both have 2 seasons, don't they? Based on what you told me. And then Sean is saying the Houston season. So I'll say this. I'll let you guys decide in the comment section, which ones do you guys want me to review? Or which one do you want me to review? Houston, Atlanta, which season? Y'all let me know. And then I can try to find time to do a throwback. All right. So with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.